Hi there. In this video I'm going to show you a few easy ways to create a very common modern look in photo editing, which in CameraBag, which I'll be using here, we call a matte look. And I'll just give you a preview of that really quickly just by using the quick built-in matte adjustment. So this look, if I toggle it off and on, you can see it's basically gives sort of a bit of a hazy softness to an image. And if you go on a site like Unsplash or something to get photos, you'll see like a dramatically large percentage of photos have this exact kind of look applied, where it's what's happening in the histogram. You can see is that the shadows are being all boosted to a certain cutoff level, and then the contrast is slightly increased. And so in CameraBag, we've got this matte adjustment. This is the quickest, easiest way to get that look. So it's in the advanced light section, and as I pull up the amount slider, you can see in the histogram it's pulling up sort of the limit, the lower limit of the shadows, and then this shadow bias is making everything darker or lighter, pulling things towards the shadows or towards the highlights within that. And so this is a very quick, powerful way to get that look without much fuss. But I'll also show you now the way that it's generally done in other softwares, which is a little bit more labor intensive, but which you can get very precise look. And this is largely done with tone curves. So if I load up a tone curve here, to get that look, what I'll do is I'll pull the left end, the lower left corner of this tone curve up. And again, you can see how that's pulling the darkest shadows in my image towards lighter values. And then I'll pull the shadows down here in this tone curve to give it a little bit more contrast, which it ends up losing when I pulled this first node up. And so that's the basics of how to do it. You'll notice that when I'm doing this with a standard RGB tone curve, it actually also increases the saturation quite a bit, often in ways that you don't want. So there are several things you can do about that. You can just pull a saturation adjustment in and dial that saturation back down so that it more matches the look that you're going for or the original photo. Or I can change the way that this tone curve, basically the mathematical algorithm that it's applying underneath, by clicking on the method here and choosing luminance, for example. So RGB, you'll see it's a little bit more saturated. If I'm adjusting these things with luminance, then it maintains the saturation more consistently. And a third way that I'll show you to do this is with a curve that's unique to CameraBag, but I'll just use my regular tone curve to boost those shadows so that nothing goes below a certain shadow amount. And then I'll use a gamma curve, and I'll place that before my tone curve. And then I can pull down the shadows and adjust the highlights and whatnot. But since all that gamma curve adjustment is happening before that tone curve boosts all the shadows, it all stays consistent within that nice matte look. So, and this is a little bit more advanced, but basically if you've got a gamma curve, put a tone curve on that looks like this, and then to its left a gamma curve, and pull those shadows down, then you can start tweaking around with this, and it's really easy to dial in the exact look that you want. Again, I'll toggle that off. You can see that's the original, and that's with these applied. But for the vast majority of cases, just come into CameraBag, pull in this matte adjustment, slide this amount slider up, and then hit your shadow bias to get it how you like it. And then, in just a couple of clicks, you get that nice matte look that is all the rage these days. Anyway, we hope that helps, and that you'll have fun trying out CameraBag. Thanks.